Welcome in, everybody, and welcome to ZmoSports. My name's Zach Mosteller, and you guys just get me today. So we're going to deep dive into baseball, what has happened so far in the MLB season. So this is my first podcast regarding the start of the MLB season, and behind me right now, or I guess in front of me, got the Phillies and the Giants game, and that game is in the bottom of the ninth. But we're going to run through all of the games, everything that we've seen, players that have just been outstanding so far, and just give you guys the breakdown and things that I like, things I don't like, and all that good stuff. But first off, shout out to one of my best friends, his dad, Randy Morris. I had Easton on the podcast in my latest episode, but he made me this really cool hat, and I'm going to put it up to the camera so that way you guys can see. It's really dope. I'm not a hat guy, but I'm going to start wearing this. I've had a couple of people come up to me already and be like, hey, what is ZMOS or ZmoSports? And it's really cool to see and connect with some people. So shout out to Randy, man. I appreciate you and the love that you have for the podcast. You're like family to me. So anyway, this is all of the information that I've gathered before the games today, which we'll go over as well. But this was Monday morning, all of the stuff, all the information that you guys are going to hear. So let's start with the standings. We got NL Central, we got Brewers, Pirates, Reds, Cards, and Cubs. And then, so the Brewers are 8-2, Reds are 7-3, Pirates are 6-4, Cards are 5-5, and the Cubs are 4-6. Let's just go from what we've seen today, actually, since I've already got it pulled up, not from what we had this morning. We got the Marlins, who are 6-4, Mets 6-4, Phillies 5-4, which they will go up to 6-4 after their win that they just sealed. So that'll get changed. And then you got the Braves that are 6-5 and the Nationals that are 4-6 in the NL East. As far as the NL West goes, Dodgers 8-2, Padres 5-5, D-backs 5-5, Rockies are 4-6, which they just won today, and then the Giants 3-7. Kicking over to the AL. The AL East, Yankees are 7-2, Rays are 5-5, Orioles 4-6, Blue Jays 4-6, and the Red Sox 2-8, which we'll talk about. We're going to deep dive into the Red Sox as well. AL Central, Guardians 6-5, Royals 5-5, Twins 4-6, Tigers are 4-6, and the White Sox are 4-6 as well. So that's a really close division so far. And then we got the AL West. The Angels are sitting up top 6-5, the Astros 6-5, the Rangers are 5-5, the Mariners are 4-7, and the Athletics are 3-6. A lot of really good games today. The ball was absolutely flying across ballparks. We had a lot of home runs as well. I know I took Tyler Stevenson to hit a homer today against the Marlins, and he did just that. But let's talk about the rookies, because this rookie class has been one of the most outstanding and exciting rookie classes that I have seen so far. And from the jump, Chase DeLotter has just been unreal. He had a home run in his first game. He has 5 homers already, which is tied for first with Shea Langoliers. He's batting .313, which puts him 32nd among all MLB players. He's got 25 total bases, which puts him at 5th. Has an so 1.124, which puts him at 11th. Has got 9 ribbies, puts him at 9th. And if you take a look at the Guardians' batting, it has not been great. They are one of the worst teams in the league when it comes to that, and they're batting overall a .198, so they're winning games, and I don't understand how. Their pitching has not been great either. We finally got to see J-Ram get into one a couple days ago, but when it comes to that, they're struggling offensively and they're struggling defensively, but they're finding ways to win, and that's just what good ball teams do. I don't know how long it's going to last. Typically that formula is not great, but dude, Chase DeLotter, like, on pace for Rookie of the Year. He has been sensational. He continues to shine, so good for him. But touched up on their pitching. Their pitching has been okay from the Stars bullpen. They do rank 9th in the MLB when it comes to ERA, but like I said, they're finding ways to win. JJ Weatherholt. I have talked about him a couple times on this podcast, dude, as a Cardinals fan, as a West Virginia fan. I have been ecstatic to see him play. I really thought that last year that he would get called up and make the start at some point, but he never did. He developed in the AAA team, and what we're seeing now is exactly what I expected him to see. I got to see him play one time in a West Virginia uniform, and I was like, dude, I hope the Cardinals get this guy. And damn sure was I right. We ended up getting him. His first game of the season, he goes yard 425 feet, dead center with an exit velo of 101.7. And then the next game, he walks it off. So talk about a guy for your club that can do everything. He's batting 273. He's got 9 hits, 4 ribbies, an OPS of 723 and 8 runs. He added another hit today. I think he went 1 for 4. But I really hope the Cardinals can keep him for a long time. We know what the Cardinals do. They necessarily, this day and age, they don't like to keep guys. They just ship them out. So I hope the Cardinals keep him. His plate approach already looks like he's a seasoned veteran. He's outstanding. I want to say that he did go, okay, so he went 1 for 3 today with 2 walks, and he's been walked a lot. Like that, I talk about his plate approach, and that's just what he does. He did it over in West Virginia as well. The other cool thing about JJ Weatherholt, and if you go look at his AAA performance or his highlights, he was hitting a lot of balls the opposite field. So he's not necessarily the most pull hitter guy. Like he can dump one out to right field, and that is what you need in a guy for your ball club. Kevin McConigall, haven't really watched much of him. I know how great he is. He's batting .303, 5 ribbies, 15 total bases, but he's still seeking his first home run. So the Tigers did get a guy that has a great plate approach, can put the ball in play. I mean, his stats prove it. He's batting .303. Let's talk about Murakami. I mean, the White Sox, not much to say about that team overall, but they did find a guy. I know he came from the Japan League, so if you really want to classify him as a rookie, you can. I mean, technically is his first MLB season, but they've got talent over there as well. He's got 4 homers on the season, OPS of 955, 19 total bases, and 7 ribbies. So he's been nothing short of impressive. Like I said, unfortunately, he's on the White Sox, so hopefully he can find a way to get out of that organization. I think today he did go 0 for 4 because I did bet on him, unfortunately. But I love he's so fun to watch. You got Bubba Chandler, the Pirates have found another dominant pitcher through the 4 innings. Now, I know he did pitch today. He had 0 hits, 0 ERAs, had 6 Ks, but did allow 6 walks. So that's something that he's going to have to figure out and dial in the strike zone. I didn't get a chance to see what he did today, so I'm going to go take a look at that real quick. He had 5 hits allowed, 3 is that runs allowed? Yep. And 4 Ks and 4 walks. So like I said, he's got to figure out a way to stop walking so many people. So in his first 2 starts, he's allowed 10 walks, which is not great. But he's young. He'll figure it out. It was against the Padres, who the Padres really haven't been that great either. Team batting in the lower top 20s. They got to figure something out over there in San Diego. But the Pirates, man, or Bubba Chandler, I'm excited to see what he does in his first MLB season. Figure out a way he can dial in with the pitching coach as well. The highlight for me so far this MLB season, and you guys can attest to this as well, is the Joe Adele game. Are you freaking kidding me? Joe Adele robs one early innings against Raleigh, goes up and gets it. Then he gets another one against J-Rod in the 8th inning or the 7th inning, and then he goes up again, another one against J.P. Crawford in the 9th. They ended up winning that game 1-0. But 3 robberies? I don't care if you're in middle school ball, if you're going to Pony, if you're going to high school, if you're going to college. There has never been a performance like that by an outfielder that I have ever seen. So props to Joe Adele. He did end up taking 1 yard today as well for his first one of the year. But, dude, he is so much fun to watch. The Angels really did get a guy out of Joe Adele, but incredible to see that. So, yeah, that was the most electric thing I've ever seen from a defensive standpoint. Going on the offensive side of the ball, this guy's back. This guy is so back. He was injured last year. I think he only played like 48 games, or maybe it was a little higher than that. I want you guys to take a guess on who I'm talking about. He leads the league in OPS. He's got multiple home runs on the season. It seems like every time he swings the bat, it's going yard, and we've known that from the time that he has stepped into the league. Is Yordan Alvarez. This guy is on a tear. He's always been on a tear. It sucked that last year he was battling through some injuries, but my goodness, is he so much fun to watch. He is, like I said, he is leading the league in OPS. He's batting .400, which is sixth in MLB. He's got 4 homers, tied for third in MLB, 10 ribbies, 10 runs, which is also first in MLB. His OPS is .478. He's got 27 total bases, which is second in MLB. For a guy that's, dealt with all that in the past, dude, this guy's gonna mess around and grab the AL MVP. Like, he is crazy. And now they're taking on the Rockies, which we know that the ball absolutely flies in Colorado. We saw it last year. The Rockies were the team that gave up the most home runs. Unfortunately, today he went 0 for 4. But dude, he is outstanding. The Astros are fun to watch. Christian Walker is getting into sync already. Look like he's in midseason form. Jose Altuve as well. He went 3 for 5 today. He's got multiple home runs. He actually had a multi-home run game last week. So watch out for the Astros, man. This is the team that's scary. They're dominant. Their pitching's great. So the Astros might be a good futures bet if you haven't already. And then let's go to the other side, because we've got star players that have been excellent so far, and then we've got some that are completely slacking. And one of those guys being Cal Raleigh. Now, he did hit one today, but he has been on the struggle bus. He has been nothing short of horrible. Leads the league in strikeouts. He's got 20. He's batting .132, only 5 hits, 4 ribbies. And I just don't understand, what is going through Cal Raleigh's head. I don't know if it's swing mechanics. I don't know if he's in his head when it comes to plate approaches. I don't know if he's seeing the ball well. He didn't strike out today, which was great, but he did hit a homer. He did go 1 for 3 with a walk. His exit below is 107, and it actually would have went out on 30 of the 30 ballparks. But he's got to figure something out. Maybe today, with him facing DeGrom, that this will help him in the future for the next game. So the Rangers are throwing Nathan Eovaldi, who is 0 for 2 so far. So maybe that'll get him back on track as well. But yeah, his his average did bump up to 146. He's got 6 hits now, but he's tied he is second in the listings as of right now from today's games in strikeouts. Matt Wallner is first, and Jorge Soler is just under him. I did see a video of Ian Happ struggling as well. He's got 18 Ks on the season, so he's been kind of disappointing as well. But Seattle, man, they had their opening game, and I think it was against the Cleveland Guardians, because we saw DeLotter go yard. But adding that key piece that I've talked about on the show before was Brendan Donovan. He has been unreal, and I miss him. Every time I see him step up to the plate, it seems like it's always going to be a base hit. He's batting at .323. He's got 4 ribbies, and he's got 2 home runs, and he's only struck out 7 times, which is something else that I talked about. I was like, this is a guy that's not going to strike out. His plate approach is great. He sees the ball so well, and if he's going to walk, you're going to walk him. So yeah, the Mariners, I'm sure Cal Raleigh will pick it up. Early season, man, the cold, especially up in Seattle, can get to people. Some people, I perform better when it's warmer outside. I feel like that's just common sense. But maybe it was because of the World Baseball Classic, but you would assume that those reps would honestly help your game to start the season. So I don't know. It's a whole mix of things for players. And if you're listening to this show and you're a college athlete or you were a high school athlete, you can attest to this as well, I'm sure. So it's been a struggle, and we see MLB players go through this all the time. And it's not just Cal Raleigh. There's a whole list of guys that are absolutely struggling that are star athletes as well. but I'm sure he'll dial it in, man. He had 60 homers last year. So, and he's got all the power. The power is never going to leave. It's just the consistency as of right now that he's really got to figure out. Let's talk about the Red Sox. This is one of the biggest storylines in the MLB. A lot of people had them ranking in the top 5. Some probably had them top 4. Maybe depends on who you ask and what site you look at as well. But this has been the most disappointing team to start the season. They lost again today. Now they're 2-8. And this was really a big surprise for me. I didn't think that the move to get rid of Alex Bregman was smart because they really expected Roman Anthony to come in and kind of replace that on the hitting side of things. But yeah, this is weird. Like Alex Correa said, the record is the record after their loss on Sunday to the Padres. They have yet to win a series as well. Explains the record 2-8. And here's the thing about Red Sox and the city of Boston. As a Patriots fan and a Celtics fan, I'm not a Red Sox fan. I'm a Cardinals fan. So grew up in Indiana. But besides the point, the thing about Boston fans is they will let you know. This is the most diehard fan base, probably tied for first, or you can put them at second. Doesn't matter. They're in that top 3 category with Philly fans that they live and breathe Red Sox baseball or Boston sports in general. If things aren't going their way, if the team's not excelling, they'll let you know. They'll let the city know, and the fans will rally together to either bring joy or bring discomfort to each team. We heard that the fans were saying sell the team to the Red Sox after their loss on Sunday, which is absurd. So that's what I'm talking about. These fans are crazy, man, and it's not good for the city of Boston. It's not good for the team. And I forgot who said something about the fans after their loss on Sunday in the post game. I'll have to figure out what that is, but they're the most loyal fans, bro. Like it's as simple as that. They have expectations, and the Red Sox, with their early woes, are not meeting those expectations. They're one of the worst teams when it comes to pitching, which I thought they were going to be one of the best in the MLB, certainly top 5 with who they've added and who they have. They ranked 23rd in MLB. They're posted an ERA of 4.71. They're tied for 3rd in MLB for home runs allowed. They ranked 9th for runs allowed. And as of right now, your ERA for the Red Sox pitchers, now this does not take into account to what Bello did today because I knew he was on the mound. Like I said, these stats are from this morning. Was Ranger has an 8.64 ERA. Early has 2.89, Sonny Gray a 4.5, Garrett Crochet a 3.27, and Bello a whopping 9.54. Now, I know that these are early. These are guys like second starts already, so one game can change everything. I mean, we saw freaking Paul Skeens get pulled during their opening day against the Mets. And his ERA was like 67 or something crazy. So yes, these are going to be inflated, but that's besides the point. The record is proving that these stats are what's being taken into account into these games. So they've got to figure something out, man, because this is not good for the city. This is not good for the fan base. This is not good for the team, and it's certainly not good for manager Alex Correa as well. And Boston is struggling. I don't know what their score was today, and I'll check it right now. Yeah, they lost 8-6, and Bello allowed 3 earned. He had 5 Ks, walked 4, so his ERA ended staying at 9, which is absurd. Roman Anthony actually went 2 for 5, so that was good to see him do that. Contreras homered, which was nice to see. And the really only like dominant player that Boston has had right now is Abreu. He's been killing the baseball, which is great to see. I think Durant had the day off, which is good because he's also been struggling. But really the only highlight of this team is Willie Abreu. It doesn't help that the Red Sox are batting, or they rank 17th in batting average. They rank 27th in runs. They're ranking in strikeouts. So I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on with their team. Like I said, it could be the weather, but like this is baseball, man. This is competition. Like every game matters because what we saw or what we see every year, like you could miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 games, or you could be back from the division by a half a game. So there is legitimate concern right now for Boston and this team. So they gotta figure something out. Mike Trout looks really good. I think he's got 2 homers on the season. I know he got hit by a pitch on Sundays, and I think it was a contusion. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was just a contusion. But is he like fully back? Is Mike Trout going to be the guy now? I don't know. Cool to see. O's manager Craig got tossed after Blaze Alexander tried to call a timeout. You hear him saying, "Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way." I didn't get the last part, but he was absolutely heated. It was so funny to watch him get tossed. Now, from my point of view, I don't think they got the time, or I don't think Blaze really got the timeout. I don't think he called it quick enough. But to get tossed from that is a bit weird. Like, why are you getting tossed over a guy not getting his timeout? Like, dude, let's just play baseball. Like, holy cow. Let's talk about the 5 teams real quick on top. We saw dude, the Dodgers just do what the Dodgers do, bro. Like, it's simple as that. They win it. They win games. Seems like they literally could win every single game. Shohei Otani put on a masterclass today. He had 2 homers. Teoscar Hernandez homered. Freddie Freeman homered. And bats are clicking. We saw a couple games ago, literally the top 4 of their order. Shohei Otani hit a homer. Freddie Freeman hit a homer. Mookie Betts hit a homer. I think Kyle Tucker also hit a homer. So you got 4 guys within the top 4 of that rotation all went yard against the Nationals, which was hilarious. I wish I would have. I need to start betting more on the Dodgers. Honestly, I really need to start betting more on teams that are facing the Nationals because they're leading the league in home runs allowed. So if that's a side or a stat that might help you with your hits or 2 bases or homers, they're giving up the most home runs in the game, so or in the league. So take them. Let's see. Andy Pahez not getting enough credit, not getting enough social media attention. He's batting .473, 10 ribbies, 3 home runs. It's a guy that can do it all in center field and in the batting department. So why isn't this guy getting enough, man? Like, this guy should be talked about a ton for what he's doing over there. And it sucks that, you got Shohei Otani, you've got the big signing of Kyle Tucker and Mookie and Freeman. So, yeah, he's going to take a back seat as far as conversation, but a guy who is leading their team in batting average and is tied with Shohei Otani for home runs, this guy needs to be talked about a little bit more, I think. I want to see what exactly. Yeah, so here is the most insane thing in today's win against the Blue Jays. Otani goes 2 for 6. He had 1 homer. I thought he had 2. I could have sworn I got a notification that he did have 2, but he did not. So my mistake on that one. But so Otani homered. He went 2 for 6. Tucker went 1 for 3. Freeman went 2 for 4 with a homer and 6 total bases. Teoscar homered. He goes 2 for 5. Muncy goes 2 for 6 with 2 total. Pahez continues to dominate. He went 2 for 4 with a 2-run double line to right. You got Freeland, who goes 0 for 5, and then Dalton rushing. He had 2 homers, 10 total bases, 2 singles, and 2 over 410 and feet. One of them was to right center, exit velo of 109, and then the other one was also to right center, 107.4 off the bat. So good for Dalton rushing. Like, guy who's not going to give you the most power, but if you need it, he's got you. And then they had Kim, who goes 2 for 4 with 2 total bases. They had 17 hits on 43 at-bats, which averaged out to be a 395. And they struck out 6 times, and they had an OPS of 1.251. That's literally insane. The Dodgers should go and win it all again this year. I don't really think there is competition when it comes to when it comes to that, especially with the Astros in that talk. But yeah, dude, like, good luck, I guess, when it comes to facing them. You also got the Brewers as well. So let's go in the top 5 because this is where it can get interesting. And this is completely up for debate. So please leave your rankings in the comments for me. But the Dodgers are the number 1 team overall that I think. Then you've got the Brewers, who are number 2. And then you got the Astros, who I think are number 3. You got the Yankees, who are number 4. And then you got the Braves, who are number 5. I have touched on the Braves so much. Drake Baldwin continues to absolutely rip the cover off the baseball. He hit another homer today. I think that puts their record. I think they've only got 2. Oh, they did lose today. So that puts their record at 6-5, which, I mean, you got the Phillies at 6-4, the Marlins at 6-4, the Mets at 6-4, the Braves at 6-5. So it's all literally bunched up into that group. The Braves, as of right now, are not going to be a wild card game, but they're just a half game back from the 7 hole and the 5 and the 6. The Reds, funny team, they're 7-3. They're 1 game back. You can also put the Phillies up there in conversation. I really want to see more out of Schwarber. I think he's batting 170 something or 180. So he needs to figure out a way to get on base more. Bryce Harper looked insane today. He went 3 for 4 with 5 total bases. He had a 1-run double rocketed to right and a 2-run single. So he put 3 more ribbies on his resume for the 2026 season. But baseball is such a funky sport. But yeah, going back to the top 5, you'll have to let me know what your rankings are. I know that putting the Astros at number 2, or I'm sorry, putting them at number 3 can definitely be up for debate if you really wanted to. But there's a thing that concerns me, like with the Yankees, is whenever they're cold, they're cold. Whenever they're hot, they do absolutely amazing. And that probably is the most obvious thing to talk about when it comes to sports. But that's just how I feel about the Yankees. And the one thing that the Yankees always do when it comes to postseason play is they can't figure out a way to win. They can't figure out how to get to the World Series and seal the deal. So if we're putting history kind of into these power rankings, which you shouldn't at all, but I'm going to just for the sake of it, I have to put them a little further down because I know what the Yankees do, and I'd rather keep the list strong. But, you know, you can do whatever you want with your power rankings. So, I mean, I've got them at number 4, literally right behind the Braves. So, but yeah, that's kind of like the major headlines of what we've seen so far in the MLB. I haven't really talked much sports betting on this podcast, but I had a nice little one yesterday for $100, turned 10 into 100. So I'm going to see how much I can grow that. It was just off a 1.5 hits, runs, and what's the other one? Hits, runs, and something. Yeah, so going back to that, I saw a guy. I was like, dude, I wish I would have seen this so much earlier. He had an 8, and I'm sure you guys saw this too. He had an 8-leg home run parlay where they turned 20 into $17,000. Like that's insane. Like, why couldn't I have seen that? And I know that the whole world saw this guy named Griff. I think it's Griff or like Griff 7 or something like that. No, it wasn't opening day. It was on last Sunday or last Saturday. I think it was Sunday. Act a 3-leg 10 to win $1,200. Posted it on his free Twitter page, not from the Discord, and people smacked that parlay, which was fun to see. But yeah, so let's go into the series is right now. So the Cardinals ended up losing to the Nationals in what was a really high-scoring game. C.J. Abrams homers again in back-to-back games. James Wood found his groove today. He went 2 for 3 with 5 homers. We talked about the Nationals giving up a lot of home runs, and Jordan Walker went deep. So did Ramon went deep as well. So Cardinals ended up losing that game 6-9. The Phillies won 6-4. The Angels won 6-2, led by Joe Adele. The Rockies actually beat the Astros. I've been talking about the Astros so much on this podcast, but good for the Rockies, man. I don't even know if they had a home run. They did. Johnson hit a home run, and then Smith hit one for the Astros. But there's a lot of runs in that game. Seattle ended up losing to the Rangers 2-1. Detroit lost to the Twins 7-3. The Orioles beat the White Sox in a low-scoring game 2-1. The Dodgers absolutely pissed on the Blue Jays 14-2. Red Sox took another L 8-6 to the Brewers. The Padres won 5-0, which I am very, very surprised that the Pirates actually lost this game. I would have put the house on the Pirates to win just because of who was pitching for the Padres, but he actually did well. Only allowed 6 hits, 0 earned runs. He had 4 Ks, only walked 1 guy. I figured that, Brandon Lowe would slap one, or maybe O'Neal Cruz, but pretty sure that dude was on the Rockies last year and got manhandled in Colorado. And we know that the ball flies because of the atmosphere and stuff like that. Yeah, surprised to see that. The Reds won again 2-0. The Royals beat the Guardians 4-2, and the Cubs lost 6-4. Matt Shaw ended up hitting a home run. You guys need to go and look at Matt Shaw's homer. As he's going through his swing, he doesn't even look at the baseball as soon as it gets right to the bat. He takes his eye off, but because of where he hit it, it went so high that it literally just carried out to left field. It would have went out on 20 to 30 ballparks, had an exit velo of 106, but yeah, that ball was a moonshot up into the clouds. You know who's a weird team to me this year? And it might be to you guys as well, because I'm not seeing the offense click as I thought that they would, is the Kansas City Royals. I know they've got some games on there where they've put up 13, they've put up 8, but they've put up 4, 5, 2, 1, and 3, which kind of is a bit surprising, because I thought that team would absolutely dominate with Bobby Witt, Pasquantino, Salvi Perez. But really the highlight of this team has kind of been and Garcia and Jonathan India, 3 guys that if you would have told me at the beginning of the season would be absolutely killing it, I would have told you that you're lying. Royals are interesting. A lot of people had them going into the playoffs this year. I don't really know if I feel that way, but we'll see what they do in the next couple weeks. I think we're going to get a really good understanding of where these hitters are, where these teams are with pitching and defensively. There's been some miscues in the field. I know on opening day, we saw O'Neal Cruz miss 2 fly balls and misjudge them in center. It's early. It's your first week and a half of baseball, so things are going to be tricky. If you transfer to a different team, things are going to be a little bit different in that perspective. But yeah, we'll kind of understand where these teams are. Another disappointing team that I didn't really get to was the Orioles, which they're 4-6 to start the season. They ranked 27th in home runs, 18th in total bases, 23rd in runs, 16th in OPS. They are batting .246, which is 10th. Kind of struggling. They're kind of middle to lower end of the pack in that regards. Or earned runs, which is 16th in MLB, and then a OPSA of .721, 19th. They've given up 125 total bases, which is 16th, and their errors are 6, which ranked them 19th. So that's a weird team to me. We'll see if they can get the sweep, which I would assume that they should, especially with Trevor Rogers pitching tomorrow against the White Sox. But yeah, that's been a wild team for me. Gunnar Henderson got into another one. I wish we could see more of Pete Alonso. We just haven't seen that just yet. Speaking of the Orioles, they're right on my screen. I literally just watched Gunnar Henderson rip one out to right. Anyway, that's an interesting team to take on. But yeah, man, MLB season early on, it's been fun, dude. Joe Adele, we talked about the rookie class going absolutely crazy. Andy Pahez turning it over. Like, this has been a thriller of a season. You know what I wish MLB did more is they got the MLB Big Inning, and I think it's like a 2-hour show. But I really wish MLB had like a Sunday ticket type package to where like you can pick and choose what 4 games that you want to watch. Because I usually do like 2 TVs when I'm watching the NFL. So I got my big one for if the Patriots are playing at noon, I'll put that one on there. But if they don't play to like Sunday night or like the 4 o'clock slate, I'll put 4 on one screen and then 4 on the left if there's 8 total games running that aren't biased. But I wish that the MLB did something like that. I know it'd be more expensive, but dude, baseball, like on the weekends, it's like all I do is just sit and watch ball. But anyway, let's get into some pitching matchups for tomorrow. I'm gonna try to have this uploaded. We got some games that are in the 12 o'clock slate, the Royals and Guardians, which I'm done betting on the Royals because I just don't understand their offense. Matthew Libtar will be on the mound for the Cardinals. Go ahead and take the Nationals to absolutely rip them. I don't believe in him at all. He's just interesting to me. I know he has an ERA of 1.64, but ball's flying in DC. Go ahead and figure that one out. Let's see. The Nationals are pitching Cade. He'll probably shut us down. We got a lot of good pitching matchups tomorrow. A lot of aces are on the mound as well. So tomorrow might be a good one for K's. Paul Skeens is on the mound. He's facing a struggling Padres offense. That might be a good one to take for 7 or 8 Ks. You've got Andrew Addett pitching, Sandy Alcantara. He's pitching against the Reds. It's another one to take Ks with. Jacob Mizorowski's on the mound against the Red Sox. You might as well go ahead and take him for 10 Ks. He's always good for that. You got Cam Scheidler, who's pitching against the Athletics. Dude, talk about the Athletics real quick before we get into some Ks, strikeout lays. They had their game or their series against the Astros, which I watched their ending on Sunday when Brent Rooker, he had 2 homers and ended up walking it off. But that's a series that every time I see them play, I don't know what it is about the Athletics. I love watching them play for some odd reason. Like, I'm not even a fan of them, but just who they have, like with Rooker, with Jacob Wilson, with Nick Kurtz, Tyler Soderstrom, Shea Langoliers, Muncy, like that team is so fun to watch offensively. And whenever they get going, they go. But going back to that game, it was absolutely wild. Shea Langoliers ended up hitting that single like right up the middle that Altuve dove for and threw at the plate to get into extra innings. Actually needed that to cash in on my bet slip for that $100. But that's a team that's so like fun, but their pitching is just dog shit. I feel bad for them because they could be a team. Now I know that they move next year, but yeah, man, if you can watch the A's play and they get the series against the Yankees starting tomorrow, they might mess around and win 1 or 2 of those games. I don't think they're going to win tomorrow with Cam Scheidler pitching, but anyway, going back into some of the games tomorrow, we got George Kirby against Nathan Eovaldi, which we highlighted. We got Mike Burrows with the Astros. They're taking on Kyle Freeland. And then Lopez is on the mounds. We've got Sanchez for the Phillies. He's taking on Robbie Ray. Tomorrow's Dinger Tuesday, but it might be Dingerless Tuesday with all of these guys pitching. So go ahead and figure out a nice like strikeout parlay, and I'll see if I can post one if I have the time to do that. Anyway, dude, baseball has been awesome. Like, the rookies have been shining. I'm excited to see what the records are going to be in the next week or two, and who's kind of in the hot streak as well. But we'll see if anybody can figure out a way to beat the Dodgers. They've got the best record in baseball right now at 8-2. Actually, they're tied with the Brewers of 8-2. The Brewers are a team, bro. They could also go out and win this game with Mizorowski, their ace. You got Yelich. He's batting .395. Garrett Mitchell's batting .333. Let's see. Who else? Lockridge is batting .348. Got Ortiz batting 269. Felix 233. Like, dude, they just have so much talent on their team. And they're definitely going to come out of the NL Central. But if Cincinnati can figure out a way to make a push with Ellie and Tyler Stevenson, actually took Tyler Stevenson to homer today. And then Spencer Steer, like, I did highlight them before the season started. Like, that could be a team. Watch out. Once the bats click, they could do some damage. But anyway, once you're done listening to this show, man, please leave a like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. If you ever want to be on the show, we're going to be talking MLB all season long. I got to figure out a way with my schedule to put out more content for you guys. So that way, you know, I can keep you guys up to date. I really want to try and do 2, if I can, episodes to kind of like deep dive into more of the games of MLB, because I am like 10 games behind. But anyway, I appreciate you guys as always, and go Cardinals, man. Let's enjoy this MLB season.